G. Chokkalingam, the Chief Investment Officer at Centrum Wealth Management. Mr. Chokkalingam, thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Chokkalingam, before I get into the two stocks that you picked for us this week, I want to give a quick recap on the stocks that you talked about. The last time you were on this show, you mentioned EID Parry, which you recommended. At that point, it was trading at 224. Its current price is 197. And you also mentioned Bharat Electronics. That stock is also down about 100 rupees. Are you still standing by your recommendations on buy on those stocks at these levels as well?
Definitely. In fact, both stocks have, though lost, but they have mitigated the risk. EID Parry has become a victim of what's happening in the UP sugar industry. The development in UP has impacted all the sugar stocks, and still it has fallen less than the fall we have seen in UP-based sugar companies or even other sugar companies. And my call remains same. I remain very optimistic on the stock. Similarly, Bharat Electronics, we have seen a lot of engineering companies getting massacred, but still it is holding on to a large extent. The fall has been less than 10%, whereas we have seen even 30-40% fall in the engineering space.
Alright, so continue to accumulate both Bharat Electronics and EID Parry. Coming to his investment ideas for this week, the first pick is Biocon. If we pull up Biocon for the last 1 month, it's cracked 25%, very different from the other pharmaceutical companies that we've seen actually stand up as defensives in this market. So if I wanted to buy into a defensive stock, wouldn't I be better off with a Dr. Reddy's or maybe a Sun Pharma? Why does Biocon make your list at this point?
As you mentioned, the stock has cracked 25%. This is one of the few, pharma bio companies to crack, and we tried our best. We haven't come across any negative news on the stock. On the contrary, the company has 10% of the revenue coming from net exports and a least leverage company. The stock is available at almost 2-3 years low price now, and it's available at a 10 PE, which is a very, very attractive valuation, and we trust the management quality as well. So I think one should make use of the fear psychosis being played out in individual stock prices. So therefore, I would pick up this stock and continue to advise people to accumulate this stock over next 2 to 3 weeks.
And finally, what's your target for Biocon over the next year, Mr. Chokkalingam?
In a normal market condition, it should give a minimum 30% return.
That was Mr. Chokkalingam's first recommendation. He's expecting 30% growth in the normal market from Biocon. But remember, we're not seeing a normal market right now, so you possibly will have to wait that out. His next pick is Lakshmi Vilas Bank. This is his value pick. Now, it's really been a range-bound stock over the last 52 weeks. Its volumes have dropped as well in the last 3 months. There isn't too much investor interest in this stock, so why is it making your list?
I firmly believe that this stock can create a lot of wealth for the investors, for simple reason that the consolidation process in the world private sector bank has started several years back, and most of these acquisitions have happened at a valuation of anywhere from 2 times book value to 6 times book value. Now the stock is available at 1 time book value on 1 year forward expected earnings. And not only that, if you look at the market cap is only around 850 crore, whereas the net worth adjusted for non-performing asset is around 700 crore. So it's available at a throwaway valuation, considering the fact that the bank has got 273 branches. And if you look at bank like Bank of Rajasthan, which was acquired about 1.5 years back, that bank was acquired at 6 times valuation, although the bank was making a lot of losses. And Lakshmi Vilas Bank in the old private sector banking space, there is not dominant holding by the promoters. The promoters holding is only 12%. So that also gives me comfort that it could be a likely candidate of expected consolidation process in the old private sector banking space. And on fundamental also, the net NPA which went up as high as 4% couple of years back, they brought down to 1% as of September 30th, 2011.
All right, and what are your targets on Lakshmi Vilas Bank? If you're looking at particularly consolidation as a trigger, do you expect, assuming that doesn't happen in the next 1 year, where would your targets be for this stock?
It should give a normal return of minimum 30%, and it already outperformed the banking index. It has not eroded the wealth of the shareholders, because apart from the fundamentals, it also got 13,000 crore of deposits. And this bank is 85-year-old bank. It has invested heavily into its own branches. This is one of the few banks in the private sector space to have own branches. So if you look at the adjusted net worth and deposit base and the real estate value of the branches, if consolidation process happens with this bank, and then this could be a multi-bagger, otherwise it can give about 30% return easily.
Alright, 30% returns expected from Lakshmi Vilas Bank as well. Those are the two recommendations. A quick recap for you. We talked about Biocon and we talked about Lakshmi Vilas Bank. Those are the two recommendations that Mr. Chokkalingam has brought to us on the show this week.